Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Ranjan Speaks. This video is for young ones who are planning to get married or maybe just married recently, or even for those who have been married for a long time but they feel that their marriage has become like a prison. They are struggling, they are suffering, they feel they are being persecuted by their husband or their wife. So the main idea is, the topic for this video is how to find happiness in marriage. Simple as that. How to find happiness in your marriage. Before you get married, you are allowed to be selfish. If you see the matrimonial columns in the newspapers and in some of these websites, a boy wants a girl who is fair, she has to be slim, and she should be well educated, maybe working, and she has to be from the same background, cultural background, same language, religion, all that is fine. You are allowed to be selfish. You need to set your expectations on how you want your life partner to be. Some of these expectations, when I read in the news paper or in some of these columns, it makes me laugh that people have such expectations, but I'm no one to judge. Each one of us have the liberty to choose, the liberty to set expectations on what kind of boy or what kind of girl we would like to marry. All that is good, all that is fine. But once you find an ideal partner and once you get married, then the equation changes. You no longer have the liberty to be selfish. All that selfishness should be before your marriage. You have all that expectations. But once you decide and finalize and get married, then after that, you cannot be selfish anymore. You have to be selfless. Now your whole viewpoint, your perspective, your approach to marriage should be totally different, should be right opposite. After you marry, your only focus should be, how can I fulfill the expectations of my wife? How can I fulfill the expectations of my husband? Before marriage, you were having your expectations, but after marriage, you keep all your expectations aside and focus on how to make my husband happy. How can I make my wife happy? You cannot be selfish in your marriage. You will never be happy. Selfish people will never find happiness in marriage. You cannot treat your wife as a slave. You cannot treat your husband as a bank account. Some of the wives, they think they can sit at home and watch television the whole day. The husband is struggling outside earning money, and you are free to spend money, do shopping and enjoy your life. That's a wrong attitude. Or the husband shouldn't treat his wife like a slave, thinking that she should care for all your needs, she should keep the house clean, cook for you, and be almost like a servant for you. This is a very wrong approach, a selfish approach. Your marriage will never be happy if you do that. But the best thing or the right thing to do is to fulfill the expectations of your spouse. Try to keep her happy. Try to keep your husband or your wife happy. How do you do that? Not by assuming things. Use your common sense. Use your power of observation. What is it that makes my husband happy? What is it that gives your wife happiness? If you cannot observe or deduce from your common sense, the best thing to do is to ask. Ask your wife, how can I make you happy? What makes you happy? What do you want from this marriage? Based on their response, do it. So if you think about your wife's happiness, if you think about your husband's happiness, marriage will be successful. It will be blossoming like a beautiful flower. But the moment you start demanding, expecting too much from your spouse, that is where marriage becomes full of tension and friction and animosity, frustration. Such marriages will collapse, or else, if it doesn't collapse, it will remain in the state of tension throughout. Do you want to be in such a marriage? If you want your marriage to be happy, be selfless. You are allowed to be selfish before your marriage. Have all that expectation. Do you think your wife should be this, your wife should be that, your husband should be like this, your husband should be like that? All that is okay. I don't judge. It's your life, your choice. But after your marriage, you have to be selfless.